called the Garage 21 Zone?
So, Zone 21.
Zone 21, right.
Suame Magazine fire. In fact, the little information we've gathered so far points to the fact that there was the lights went out.
Oh, okay.
Around that area in the evening of Friday. And when the lights came back, there was some sparks on the service pole that is very close to a late turning workshop. So when the spark fell on the workshop, we started a fire and spread to other portions of that area. Per what they deal in fact, they have shops around, they have stores that also sell these oil, which are flammable substances. So when the fire got to the shops, it burnt and the oil spread to, in fact, across the street to other vehicles and shops that were there, and they also caught fire. So far, that is what we've gathered. Investigators are continuing to ensure that they establish whether that is what caused the fire or something else caused the fire. You mentioned the Asafo market, no, the Asafo Fitted fire. Yeah. The little information we also picked from there is that somebody also was burning rubbish closer to a spraying shop. So it spread to the spraying shop, and with the the nature and the things they use in the spraying shop, they are all very flammable. So it also caught fire, spread to other shops and vehicles, and they all got burnt. So I think Leo has done a lot of the work for me this morning. I mean, indiscriminate burning, carelessness, negligence is causing most of the fires. A case is the one that happened at Kwadaso, the timber market. In fact, that place has burned twice in January.
Yeah, in a space of 2 weeks.
In a space of 2 weeks. The first one affected about 50 sheds or shops. The last one, about 250. So you see that the first one was just a few area that were affected. Yes, but this one spread wide, and reports we are getting indicates that the fire, somebody was burning sawdust.
See?
Sawdust. Around 3 p.m., it was burning. People were there, they looked unconcerned. And by 9 p.m., the fire spread to the structures and it started burning the structures. And we went in all right, but by the time we got there, they deal in wood and stuff. So
what do you do to such persons? So one of the narratives you gave, for example, that of the Suame Magazine, has to do with an outage, and when the lights came back on, there were some sparks that led to the fire. That's what you've shared with us this morning, and I'm happy that you said that, because again in my intro I mentioned outages, you're ironing and you doing stuff and you live it on. So I'm happy that you people have been able to identify that and have shared that with us. But there's a fire that gutted about 7 vehicles. Somebody was burning rubbish. Somebody saw the person burning the rubbish. The person didn't do anything about it. Now 7 vehicles belonging to people who've taken their vehicles for repairs got burnt. Then you talk about the Kwadaso incident where somebody was burning sawdust. So for the person who was burning the sawdust, for the person who was burning the refuse or the rubbish, what happens to the person?
In fact, per the laws we work with, if it is clearly identified as a case of arson is established, that they burnt it with the intention of causing harm, then they can be taken on. So in that case, we will hand over to the police who will pursue the matter. But if it is not established that they had any evil intention, I mean, it ends there. Unless maybe you want to take up a civil matter. If it is arson, then it's a criminal matter,
so
I have
a question
expressly, which is expressly.
But I think for repairs. You are sweeping your rubbish.
Yeah. I'm saying that in that case,
and you have burnt my vehicle.
In that case, then maybe a civil matter can be taken up. But in the case of arsonist, or arson,
That's
then
purely criminal.
That is purely criminal, which is provided under the Criminal and Other Offences Act, Act 29.
Yeah.
So
This scenario, and this is something that I witnessed on my way to the gym. There is this shop where they spray cars, and then I saw about a 10-year-old coming to burn rubbish. Apparently, the boy's father was inside. It was early morning, around 5:36 thereabout, and the kid was burning the rubbish right about a few centimeters away from one car. This was in the dry season, so the fire was really strong. It took me and some woman who was following me. When we reached there and I saw it, immediately I knew this was going to cause trouble. I scolded the boy, and he ran back, and then I made him put water on it. And the father was inside. He didn't even flinch. So, a 10-year-old boy. In this case, can we report the father to the police station for allowing that boy to do that? Because if we sit down and then we let this fire catch the car, lives will be lost, property will be lost. Can we do anything? People who...
I mean, you can do it, but as to whether it can... like I said, whether it can fall within the criminal code or unless it's taken through a civil case. I'm sure in this case it's going to be carelessness or negligence.
Yes, carelessness, negligence.
But
because the adult was there, he has made a 10-year-old to come and burn rubbish about 2 centimeters away from a car. And you know what pissed me off more? Like what made me more angry? The kid was burning at